Welcome to the 270 Hoops Power Rankings for the week of January 12th. We have 4 different sets of power rankings, each separated by divisions. We have a Division 1, Division 2, Division 3, and then Divisions 4 and 5 are combined into one set of top 10 rankings. If you are seeing this video before Friday morning, the 17th, thank you for being a subscriber to the Substack or the YouTube channel, both at 270 Hoops at the end of those handles. We appreciate your guys' support of Central Ohio basketball and the staff of 270 Hoops as a whole. We greatly appreciate you guys. And in Division 2, Westerville North remains yet again number 1 after a dominant win over Big Walnut last week to further solidify their position atop the OCC Capital. The Warriors will be on the road at number 10 Worthington Kilbourne on Tuesday before hosting Dublin Scioto on Friday. The Wolves are ranked 6th in Max Prep's RPI system for Division 2 in Central Ohio and have a chance to make a serious statement this week as they host the Warriors and then play at number 6 Westville South on Friday. Number 2 New Albany had an impressive week, taking down 2 top 10 teams in Division 1 in Pickerington North and Groveport Madison. The Eagles will have another top 10 matchup on Tuesday against a familiar foe in Upper Arlington, and New Albany head coach Tim Casey gets to face his old squad for the first time since leaving the Golden Bears. 3rd through 7th stays the same in Division 2 as Licking Heights, Big Walnut, Northland, Westville South, and Thomas Worthington all hold on to their spots from last week. Every team outside of the top 5 has at least 4 losses, with the vast majority having 6 or more losses. Outside of that group, Mount Vernon moves up to number 8 and will have a difficult set of games this week. The Yellow Jackets will make a 41-mile trip to Muskingum County to play Zanesville on Tuesday night for a Licking County League game before hosting number 3 Licking Heights on Friday night. Mount Vernon can really help their postseason aspirations with a 2-0 week, and it's not often you get opportunities for top 3 wins, so Mount Vernon needs to save their best for Friday night. And St. Charles moves up a spot to number 9. The Cardinals have by far the toughest conference slate in the area with 6 games against number 1 Division 3 Bishop Hartley, number 2 Division 3 Bishop Watterson, and number 3 Division 3 DeSale. And in Division 1, we have 3 different top 10 battles this week, 2 of which are on the top 5 as Tuesday, number 1 Reynoldsburg hosts number 4 Newark with first place in the OCC Buckeye on the line. And number 8 Pickerington North hosts number 7 Dublin Kaufman in a crossover non-conference matchup. On Friday, the Battle of Olentangy goes down as number 2 Olentangy Orange travels to bitter rival and number 3 Olentangy Liberty with first place in the line on the OCC Central. And if the season ended today, Olentangy Orange would be the number 1 overall seed in Columbus by the Max Preps RPI metric, which released earlier this week for the first time all seeding and will be used for all seeding in the OHSAA tournament for the 2nd straight season. Number 5 Delaware Hayes is kind of flying under the radar this year, and after last year's run of the state tournament, the Pacers are 9-2 and playing great basketball. Hilliard Darby is hot right now, checking in at number 6 this week as they sit at 8-1. The Panthers passed both tests last week with big wins over Westville Central and Thomas Worthington and are still alone atop the OCC Cardinal with a potential championship game against number 9 Olentangy waiting in a few weeks on February 7th, who won their lone game last week against Dublin Jerome 58-42. Dublin Kaufman is 7th this week as they picked up a huge road win over rival and number 10 Upper Arlington on Friday, 68-53. The Rocks can put another feather in their cap when they travel to number 8 Pickerington North on Tuesday, who after a 7-0 start has dropped to 3 straight to ranked teams. The Panthers will need a good week against tough teams in the Shamrocks and Gahanna Lincoln. And in Division 3, Bishop Hartley notched the biggest win of any team in these Division 3 rankings have all season, knocking off Watterson in a huge CCL matchup. The Hawks have a tough non-conference game at home against Mansfield Senior and will be looking for revenge after last year's loss. And there is another big-time CCL matchup on the horizon and another top 3 matchup on the horizon as Watterson at number 2 will host DeSale's number 3 on Friday night. This game is a must-win for Watterson as an 0-2 start would put them in a really tough spot to compete for that CCL title, but a win for DeSales puts them at 2-0 and will set them up for a huge first-place battle next Friday when the Stallions host Bishop Hartley. Hamilton Township, Walnut Ridge, Marion Harding, and Granville will all hold their spots from last week. This is a really good group of teams here, and it will make running the table for a district championship very challenging in Division 3. Licking Valley is now back in the rankings and appears at number 8 this week. The Panthers picked up a huge home win last Tuesday over previously unbeaten Heath. They'll have 2 LCO games this week against first place Licking Heights and Watkins Memorial. And both number 9 South and number 10 Centennial will be on the road for 4 City League games this week. Centennial was upset by Linden last Friday, virtually ending any chance of securing a split of the City League North Division title with Northland. Leading off our combined Division 4, Division 5 rankings, number 1 Columbus Academy is 10-0, and the only unbeaten team remaining in the area. The Vikings will be away from home for both games this week, taking on Franklin Heights on the road Tuesday and playing New Lexington at ODU on Saturday for the battle for the 614. Afrocentric rises to number 2 this week as they are winners of 10 straight. They are in first place in the City League South Division, will be on the road for 2 league games this week against Briggs and Marion Franklin. They will also be at the Battle of the 614 out of High Dominican on Saturday, taking on Canton Ridge out of the Central Buckeye Conference. And Bishop Reedy will come in at number 3, falling a spot from last week despite their tight loss to number 1 Columbus Academy. Came a bucket away from winning that game in a 2-point loss. They show great toughness and resiliency, coming back from a deficit to send the game even to overtime. And up to number 4 this week is Fairbanks, who is sitting at 11-1 with a 3-game slate this week. And if they can run the table in the OHC, the Ohio Heritage Conference, they'll have a very high seed in the upcoming district tournament. Number 5 is Harvest Prep and has an unbelievable schedule, playing really high-level competition, and fell in a close game to 16-1 Faith Baptist Academy out of Florida last week. The Warriors responded by taking down Dayton Dunbar over the weekend, and they are 8-5, but their schedule speaks volumes to what they can accomplish in this year's district tournament. River Valley is the highest-ranked Division 4 teams in this ranking, checking in at number 6. The Vikings will have 2 MOAC games this week against Ontario and Pleasant, and Heath drops 4 spots to number 7 after falling on the road to Licking Valley last week, the Bulldogs' first loss of the season. Heath will have a chance to pick up 3 wins this week. And numbers 8, 9, and 10 all to stay the same, as Fredericktown, London, and Jonathan Alder all remain in their spots as they did last week. The Freddies have a major game at Cardington on Tuesday night with first place on the line in the KMAC. And London has a difficult CBC matchup with North Union on the road. And Jonathan Alder has a more manageable schedule, traveling to Urbana on Friday, but that could present a challenge as well.